And when I went through it, I was like, wow, is this exciting? Citi is simplifying. Citi is making money every day. Like, do you remember when they used to they open the door and they do that TSS, they do that Treasury securities? It is working again. And I was just, she did a fantastic job. I also thought that Charlie Scharf put together an amazing quarter. We're used to Charlie Scharf having to deal with a lot of regulatory issues. He is starting to just one by one check the boxes. I am astonished that Goldman could make this much money. But I want to just disagree with the market at one point here. Bank of America, they do, okay, so they missed by 2 cents, but revenue up 6%, expenses only up 1.5%. That's called leverage, David. That's good.
It is good. And we're going to keep an eye on those stocks. As Jim mentioned, of course, Citi was a very strong performer on Friday. Well, so there you can see what we're looking for Goldman. As for Moynihan, he is certainly the gentleman who runs Bank of America, and by the way, has done so now for quite a long period of time. We do look to him as well for sort of some commentary on the consumer, given their broad credit card platform and a lot of other areas that they see consumer spending. Didn't really share that much in the call, guys, but did say for the first 2 weeks of July, spending's up 10 plus and transactions again rising 6%. So transactions up 6. That's that's on credit cards, I believe, right? And 10% on spending. Strong consumer resilience is what Moynihan is talking about. He says they do continue to see shifts in what people are spending money on. Something we've talked about a great deal of late. A lot more on experiences, a lot more on travel. And obviously a bit more on fuel due to increased prices.
Didn't you also find the account openings really incredible? I'm starting to feel like that they're taking share from the fintechs. Their digital is 48% of their banking. One of the things, they continue to reduce the expense rate at the branches. They have fewer branches, but they're doing more. Look, is it exciting?
No.
And when
exciting.
I go over with Brian, all Brian really wants to talk about is the consumer is just very strong. And when you hear Carl, you start thinking, does this make the Fed's job harder? Because when the consumer is this strong, then you're going to have them chasing goods. At the same time, I went back and forth with Ivy Zellman, who's the dean of housing. Cancellations have jumped big.
Yes.
Ever since the mortgage rate started it started just exploding.
Yes.
Rocket ship.
Yes.
People are walking away. They don't want their homes.
They are.
That's positive.
It's on my list here. Well, it's not positive, but maybe it's getting us
negative.
But I mean, on that point, Jim, there was, the conversations that I'll have with a lot of asset managers goes along those lines. The world's decelerating very quickly.
Yes.
We're seeing it in so many different signs, including home prices, including cancellations, which you just cited. Right. Consumer sentiment is terrible.
Yes, it is.
And terrible. It's the lowest in 40 years.
Yeah. People are very sad. There's a gloom in this country. It's one of the reasons I wanted Ken Langone to start Mad Money. I think that capitalism is the greatest force for social change. And when we look at Bank of America and we see what they're doing for minority businesses, we just say, okay, look, it's a different world. It's a positive world. Let's not dump on these guys. These guys are really doing something. But you know what happens, Dave? People just say we're going in the wrong direction. We may be going in the wrong direction, and maybe people aren't buying that much at retail, but the consumer's balance sheet's amazing. If they're going in the wrong direction, at least they're not going to be off the cliff.
That is true. But as for the markets and wondering whether we're going to continue to go off a cliff, it's just a very difficult time to try to assess things. Again, we get back to the Fed, but those conversations typically lead to the person on the other end of the phone saying, I'm not ready to buy a thing right now. And in fact, I'm happy to be with a large cash position. If I feel comfortable shorting the market, I may even choose to do that. I still don't feel like we're there yet. We're going to, continue to take the bar down in terms of earnings. And, multiples have revised lower, but not low enough.
Well, but that's okay. So Ford is selling at 6. GM at 5 times.
It was a downgrade today.
Downgrade today. Well, right. David, it's 6 times. Is that helpful?
It can go to 5 times. I don't know what to tell you. I think
there's great value. I think there's great value in Ford and GM. It just won't be realized tomorrow. Everybody wants Tesla. They just want Tesla. All they care about is Tesla.